Okay, so your first step is going to be to put your name on the back of your paper, and then put your period. And now you're going to gather the colors of tissue paper that you'll need for your background. You should get a series of colors that go with what you visualize when you close your eyes and read your story. My story is about skiing in the woods at night, so I got a combination of blues and purples for the snow. Purples will be kind of the shadowed snow, and then some really dark areas that I'll put on top for the shadows and the sky, the black sky. Maybe I could even add in some little pieces of white paper for stars or something in the sky. The next thing you're going to need is you're going to need to get a paintbrush and then a small bucket for your gloss varnish, and then you're going to want to get a yogurt container with some water in it. Some of my pieces I've cut with the scissors to kind of get more straight lines, whereas other pieces I've just ripped. When you want to start out with nothing on your paper. You want to get organized. Put all your tissue paper to the side, and then you're going to start to put down the gloss medium in the spaces where you're going to go first. Gloss medium is like glue and varnish at the same time. So it'll glue down your tissue paper, but it'll also create a shiny effect where it'll make it waterproof. And later you will be drawing on top of the tissue paper. So what you want to do is work fairly quickly. The gloss medium dries fast. So once you put it down, you want to put something on top of it. And it's also a good idea to layer to get more interesting colors and effects. Snow has all kinds of whites and blues and purples and aqua colors in the evening. So I'm going to be layering whites and greens and all kinds of things. Later on, I'm going to go in and add some of these black pieces to be the trees. I'm going to flip that. The trees behind the ski area. Okay? So spend an hour using your time wisely and trying to fill up your whole canvas with pieces of tissue paper. Remember, don't spend time trying to make it look exactly like the real thing. Make it look like how it looks when you really squint your eyes and all you see are just areas of color and different shapes. So I'm finishing up now, and I kind of like how it turned out. My brush is starting to get dry, and that is my signal that I have to put it in the water bucket. If you leave this brush out for too long, it will dry, and this varnish will harden, and the brush will be... I loaned you guys all my brushes for this project, so if we lose any at this point, I won't have enough for a class set. So be really careful with them. Rinse them off in here, and you can leave them for the next person to use. Just don't set them out to dry. Okay, so now my canvas, I have a nice abstract background with different color fields that are kind of a night scene in the winter. And I can take my scissors if I have any pieces that are hanging off and just trim them to get a little bit of a cleaner look to my illustration. And then I want to put this somewhere to dry so that I can get it out the next class and add some of my line detail. The last thing you want to do is put all the scraps back in those buckets. Kids can use every single little scrap of this tissue paper. We don't have that much, so we want to make sure that they get returned. I had buckets that had some purples and blues and whites in them, and then another bucket that had greens and blacks. So I'm going to separate them into two piles and then put them back where I got them.